This is one of the greatest mysteries in early American history. A colony of 115 men, women, and children built homes, planted crops, raised families, and dreamed of a new life. And then they vanished. Completely. No bodies, no signs of struggle, no smoke, no clues, except for one strange word carved into a tree. For more than 400 years, historians, scientists, archaeologists, and investigators have tried to understand what happened. Was it starvation, war, disease, abduction, or something darker? Tonight, in this full documentary, we revisit the last days of the missing colony, step by step, following every clue, every theory, and every secret. This is the story of the lost colony of Roanoke. The first attempts. Before there was a disappearance, there was a failure. The Roanoke mystery begins long before the colonists vanished. The first group of settlers sent to the island struggled almost immediately. They faced lack of food, rough weather tension with local tribes, isolation, uncertainty. The land was unfamiliar, the crops failed. The soil was different. After months of frustration, the first settlers gave up, boarded a ship, and returned to England. Roanoke already had a bad reputation, but the dream of building a new world was too strong, so another attempt was planned, more organized, more hopeful, and far larger. This time, 115 people went. Families, children, craftsmen, farmers, ordinary people with ordinary hopes. They had no idea what awaited them the journey. The problems began before they even arrived. The trip across the Atlantic was long and dangerous. Storms battered the ships, food ran low. Morale weakened. When they finally reached the coast, the settlers were supposed to continue south to a safer, friendlier destination. But the ship's captain refused. He was tired. He was behind schedule. He forced the settlers to land at Roanoke, even though their supplies were low and their leader didn't want to stay. It was a decision that may have sealed their fate. Building the colony. They built a world and then vanished from it. Despite the challenges the settlers built, wooden homes, a protective fence, storage pits, workshops, gardens. They planted crops and explored the island. At first, things looked hopeful. A baby was even born, the first English child born in the New World. But the settlers soon realized they were running out of supplies. Food was scarce, tools were breaking, and tensions with nearby tribes grew. Their leader decided he must return to England to get help. He promised the settlers, "I will return in a few months." Instead, he would be gone for 3 long years. 3 years of silence. History changed while the colony waited. War broke out overseas, stopping all travel ships were seized for fighting. Resources were redirected. The colony's desperate situation became a distant memory. Meanwhile, on the island, the settlers waited. Food, dwindling crops, failing storms, destroying roofs, tensions rising. No one came. No one sent supplies. No one even knew if they were alive. 3 years is a long time to wait for help. What did the settlers do to survive? This is the first great mystery, the return. When their leader finally returned, the colony was empty. In the 3rd summer after leaving, the leader finally set foot on the island. He expected noise, voices, children running, smoke from cooking fires. But the island was silent, completely silent. The homes were gone. The fort was taken apart. No signs of a fight, no signs of flight, no signs of life. The entire colony was missing. The only clue was a single word carved into a tree. Croatoan. Another carving showed crow, and nothing more. What did the word mean? A place, a message, a warning. Investigators still don't agree. Clue number 1, the carving. Why carve a message unless you wanted to be found? The settlers had a plan. If they ever had to relocate, they would leave a message carved into wood. If they were forced, they would carve a special symbol. That symbol wasn't present, meaning they left willingly on their own terms. So Croatoan likely meant a destination. But when the rescuers tried to sail there, a storm tore their ship apart. They had to turn back. The colony's trail went cold, forever. The empty houses. Everything was taken apart calmly, like they planned to return. The houses were dismantled, not burned, not abandoned, not destroyed. Roofs were removed neatly, posts taken apart. Nothing scattered. It looked like the settlers packed, organized their things, and left as a group expecting to come back. This does not match panic or conflict, or sudden death. So what happened? Theory 1. They joined a nearby tribe. The simplest theory may be the closest to the truth. Some historians believe the settlers joined a friendly community nearby. This explains the calm departure, the carvings, the lack of bodies, the neatly taken-apart homes. Years later, explorers reported seeing people with mixed features, blue or grey eyes, European-style clothing, English-style wooden homes. Could this have been the Roanoke colonists? Possibly, but there is no proof. Theory 2. A deadly winter. Perhaps they moved and didn't survive. Winters can be harsh. Some believe the settlers fled to find food, got caught in winter storms, and froze to death. If they died far inland, their remains would be scattered or buried naturally long before investigators searched. But again, no remains have ever been found. Theory 3. Disease. Could illness erase an entire community? Certain illnesses can travel quickly and silently. Symptoms could include fever, confusion, exhaustion, rashes, death within hours. If disease spread, the colony may have tried to relocate to escape it. But disease alone cannot explain the calm removal of homes. Something else was at work. Theory 4. Internal division. What if the colony broke apart from within? Stress changes people. Food shortages, fear, and isolation can create intense conflict. Some believe the colony split into smaller groups, each group going separate directions, fighting for leadership, competing for survival. If so, rescue ships would have found nothing but emptiness, exactly what happened. But where did these groups go? No traces exist. They tried to leave by ship. Desperation leads to risk. Some believe the colonists tried to build small boats using the wood from their homes. They may have sailed north, sailed south, or drifted into storms. Small ships on open water, not a good chance of survival. Wreckage could easily vanish. Storms could erase history. Currents could drag remains thousands of kilometers. This theory explains dismantled homes, no conflict, sudden disappearance, but again, no physical evidence. A quiet attack. Not all battles are loud. Some believe the settlers were attacked, but not violently. They may have been captured quietly, forced to march, forced into a new community. Ancient warfare often included taking skilled workers, using captives for labor assimilation. This theory explains the disappearance, but not the carvings, unless the captors allowed them to leave a message. But why? Mystery remains. Theory 7. The strange light. Some mysteries grow darker with time. Decades later, new settlers reported seeing a strange glow, a mysterious light rising from the horizon exactly where the colony once stood. No explanation was given. It was never seen again. A coincidence? A natural event? Or something connected to the missing people? No one knows. The archaeology clues found centuries later still raise more questions. Modern digs have uncovered broken tools, old coins, European-style pottery firearm pieces, carved stones, unusual building patterns. But the problem is this: none of these prove the settlers survived. None show where they went. None confirm the carvings. Every discovery leads to more confusion, the evidence that changes everything. Some clues cannot be explained, even today. There were reports, generations after the disappearance, of people speaking a blended language, villages using farming techniques never seen before, local leaders with unexpected physical features. Some researchers believe these may have been descendants of the settlers. But again, the link cannot be proven. How can so many signs exist, and yet no proof? The final since lost expedition, the greatest clue, may have been lost forever. Just weeks after finding the carvings, the rescuers left the island due to storms. They planned to return quickly, but shipwrecks stopped them. By the time they came back, decades had passed. Clues were gone, trails erased, homes swallowed by nature. The last real chance to find the settlers died with that shipwreck. Could the answer be simple? Sometimes mysteries remain unsolved because the truth is ordinary. The settlers may have moved, joined another community, lived for years, then slowly disappeared through time. No dramatic event, no mass tragedy, no supernatural explanation. Just survival, adaptation, and time. But mysteries grow in silence. Could the answer be extraordinary? Every missing person case hides a possibility we don't want to admit. What if they found something? What if they trusted the wrong people? What if they followed a guide into the unknown? What if the carvings meant something different? Mystery invites imagination, and Roanoke has more imagination than most. The unsolved ending. After 400 years, one question remains. How do 115 people disappear without a trace? No bodies, no signs of battle, no ruins, no documents, no survivors, only a word carved into wood. Croatone. A single message, a single clue, a single unanswered question. The colony may never be found, the truth may never surface, and perhaps that is why this mystery refuses to fade, because sometimes the greatest stories in history are the ones with no ending.